Hey there, Auxly traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community and the channel that was created by a retail investor for retail investors. Today's Friday, November 8th. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. Excited to dive into this one. Auxly just reported today their Q3 2024 earnings, and it was an absolute blowout. They crushed them. I can't wait to go through this earnings report. It's fantastic to see, and never been more excited about the future of the company. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe. Tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. And full disclosure, I'm a very large shareholder of Auxly. You can also follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And as a reminder, I'll be interviewing Hugo Alves, the CEO of Auxly. That'll be on next Friday, November 15th. And it'll probably come out later on that night. We'll have to, I'm not exactly sure when it'll be posted, but we're going to be recording it on Friday. And then potentially later on that night or early the next week. But they just released their Q3 2024 amazing report today. Absolute just crushed it. I can't say enough good things about this, but we'll go through it here and dissect it a little bit. But if anybody does have any questions after viewing this video, after viewing their Q3 earnings, let me know. I already have quite a few questions, and we'll try to get as many answered as possible. I also went out and picked up some Liquid Imagination flour today. It's the number one selling flour at the moment in Canada. So I picked it up. Want to see what all the fuss is about. Going to be trying this one later on tonight. But I posted a short on the YouTube channel about it. And I also picked up a couple of their products as well. Their new pre-rolls, which are really cool. And also their all-in-one vape. So this company is a leader in terms of flour, pre-rolls, and vapes. And the sky's definitely the limit here. Future's bright for Auxly, especially after, we're seeing a lot of the price compression, a lot of the trials and tribulations that are happening, all the challenges in the market in Canada, they're sort of being fizzled out and ironed out. So I like to see this happening across the sector because it's just been brutal, right? It's been an absolute beatdown, and people are left, right, and center. Companies, doesn't matter if you're a retailer, producer. They're going out of business, right? So it's great to see that we have finally have some momentum shifting, and we're starting to see profitability and positive adjusted EBITDA and whatnot. So this is great to see for the sector. But Auxly, definitely a shining star here today. So Auxly reaches new financial milestones in record-breaking Q3 2024 and grows overall national market share. So all figures are in Canadian dollars. We'll go through some of the highlights. These are some fantastic highlights. Canopy Growth, I posted a video on their earnings. It was not very good. The only thing to mention was a couple of highlights they had. I think there was like 3 or 4 points. Really wasn't a great quarter. But look at this. It's crazy. There's still a lot of companies that are struggling, but look at how close Auxly is to really turning this ship around, and it's going to be, in my opinion, one of the best success stories. There's so much opportunity here. It's not even funny based on where the stock was and where it is and where it's going. So the company continues to outperform, delivering another record-breaking quarter of financial results across key metrics. These include revenue, margin, and adjusted EBITDA. Wait till you see the adjusted EBITDA performance. So they established a new all-time record of net revenues of $33.3 million. It was a slight miss. We had estimates forecasting $34.2 million. So they did slight miss, but it was an all-time high record amount of net revenues. It increased 18% year over year and 14% quarter over quarter. They set an all-time record in gross margin, and that was 47% for the quarter and an improvement of 17% year over year. SG&A continued to remain substantially flat quarter over quarter with a notable 16% decrease year over year as companies continue to cut costs. They had their 5th consecutive quarter of positive adjusted EBITDA. Now listen to this, achieving a new all-time record of $8.3 million, representing a 60% quarter over quarter increase and a remarkable 6,982% increase compared to the same period in 2023. Absolutely fantastic. Definitely, shout out, well deserved to the Auxly team over there. I'm sure they're just buzzing and super excited there today, and rightly so. This is an absolute fantastic report. They had net income of 3.2 million and cash flow provided by operating activities of 12.9 million. The company continued to make improvements to its balance sheet by reducing its debt. That was by 54% compared to the end of 2023, and by repaying the outstanding principal on the company's standby financing facility. The company saw improvements to its overall national market share, moving into the number 4 LP position in national recreational sales for the quarter. So they're all-in-one vape category, secured over 36% of the total market share in the category and 50% of the top 10 vape SKU positions nationally. Back 40's Liquid Imagination, again, I just picked this up today, and I have yet to try it, so I can't wait to try it, and I'll report back. But their 28-gram SKU continued to win with consumers, and it ended the quarter as the number 1 selling flower nationally, which is, again, very impressive. The company's pre-roll product suite saw a 19% increase in national sales compared to the previous quarter, with Back 40's Wedding Pie, Banana OG securing number 3 and number 4 position, respectively, in national non-infused pre-roll sales for the quarter. So like I said, they're very big in flower, pre-rolls, and also vapes. And I'm going to be asking in the interview if they're looking at other product formats. Are they looking at beverages, HD9 expansion plans, and internationally in the US, Germany, etc. But as you can see, net revenue 33.284 million. We'll scroll down here. So they did have a positive, it came in flat actually, EPS. So it was positive for September 30th, 2023 quarter. It was positive 0.03. And for this quarter, it came in at 0.00. So it was flat. And I wrote down some notes here as well. In the POW Group private community, we're discussing this earlier on this morning. I just want to go over some of my notes. So yeah, they did have cash and cash equivalents was 18.957 million compared to 15.608 million, which is a decent increase from the same quarter in 2023. And that's pretty much all I had to mention for the time being. Like I said, absolutely fantastic report. There's some comments here from Hugo Alves. If you haven't seen that, I highly encourage you to check it out. I'm not going to read the whole report, or we'll be here forever. There was also a letter to shareholders. So if you go on their website, it's just under their quarterly performance, their MD&A, and letter to shareholder for Q3 2024. But like I said, it just seems like the team's buzzing over there. They've been head down. They haven't been doing conference calls. So they're just focusing on execution and tirelessly, kind of putting in the effort. That's what we need to do, right? So we'll see. I'll mention in the questions that I have for the interview if they're going to be starting to plan to do more interviews or more conference calls rather during the interview. So we'll get an update on that as well. But again, if anybody does have any questions, please let me know. And we just got an update here from Green Market Report. Auxly Q3 sales jump 18%, but cash remains a concern. I wouldn't be too concerned. I mean, they have Imperial Brands as a partner, and we're already starting to see major momentum there, and it's only going to get better. So, and like I said, cash did increase from the same quarter of 2023. So I'm not too worried about that at all. But if you're interested in seeing that, the letter, you can read the whole thing directly on the Auxly website. Auxly also came out with a new corporate presentation for November, so this month. And I went through this. Very impressive, like I said, overall. What a great report. And this is a company that I think, it's been beaten down like most names in the space. This all-in-one vape, they're fantastic. They're rechargeable as well. You got to try those. This new collab vape as well looks absolutely amazing right here. This one here on the right. So I can't wait to try those. If anybody has tried them, let me know. But just look at some of this. Look at this Auxly Leamington facility. 1.1 million square feet, purpose built. And they also have the Auxly Charlottetown. So fun fact, I'm actually from Prince Edward Island, and that's where their facility, DoseCan facility, is located. It's in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. So I actually had a house there in Charlottetown, and I had a duplex. I sold those in 2020 and 2021, and I moved to Edmonton, Alberta. But I was talking to Hugo as well, and next time in PEI, hopefully I can get me there inside the facility and do a tour, and I'll give everybody some insight into that. But yeah, here's the collab project one. And you can see their financial performance. Net revenue took a slight dip there, but it's on trending back in the right direction, up and to the right. Love to see it. And a lot of these companies, they've been right sizing, they've been cutting back on costs and SG&A, and we're starting to see the days of unprofitable LPs come to an end. We're really starting to turn the corner, in my opinion. And also, in my opinion, there's a reason why all these, Imperial Brands, fourth largest tobacco giant in the U.S., and there's a reason why all these tobacco giants and alcohol, big pharma, are choosing Canadian companies, in my opinion, because they're leading the pack, right? They've already been operating 6 years under a legal framework, and in my opinion, when they really start to put the foot on the gas, it's just going to be, they're going to leave everybody in the dust, in my opinion. I can't wait to hear what their expansion plans are as well. I'm also going to go through the MD&A, so the management discussion and analysis. It's about 30 pages long. I'll go through the full financial statement as well. That one's also about 30 pages long, and I'll look at the questions that I have, and I already have quite a few questions, and try to get some in there with regards to performance and their financials that they just came out with. But overall, I'm not worried about the company at all. I know a lot of people are, kind of wondering if this company's going to make it long term. Is it a buyout target? These are all things that I'll ask during the interview as well. But overall, if anybody can pull this off, I think it's Auxly that can do it. Like I said, we were at one point almost at $3 on Auxly, and we hit 1 penny. So if we go from the high to the low there, it lost over 99% of its value, so about 99.7% of its value. And we're just working on a monthly uptrend at the moment. You can see here we're up 11% on the day. We actually did hit 5.5 cents, which means we're starting the monthly bounce, but we have key resistance there at 7 cents on deck, which if we break that, then we're in a monthly uptrend with our low, high, higher low, and higher high. And we could see the EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well, the first in history on Auxly, which would mean a lot of upside. And if we look at the weekly time frame, we also had a bull cross of the MACD, stochastics looking fantastic. And then we have a lack of resistance all the way up until the 200 weekly. A lot of our names in MJ that we track are starting to make their way up to their 200 weekly moving average. So if Auxly does a similar move, that'd put us at 11 cents, which means over 100% move from here. A little bit of a concern here is the death cross that could be forming with the 50-day above the 200-day and crossing. If that happens, we could pull back to around the 3 cent mark again. The sector was also weak today. Canopy earnings was pretty bad, and we're still dealing with the aftermath from Tuesday and the elections, whatnot. Florida failing, so ultimately it's a shining star in the space right now, and I'm absolutely looking forward to this interview that's coming up here with the CEO. It's been a while since we heard any or seen any interviews, since we had a conference call, and I know a lot of people are eager to hear from the horses, right from the horse's mouth. So, like I said, it's a company that I think, if anybody can pull it off, it's Auxly, and they've been absolutely crushed in terms of pretty much all MJ stocks have been crushed, but it's definitely one of the more notable ones that has seen a significant drawdown and could be massive upside and like opportunities endless. Essentially, if we go back to all-time highs, you're looking at, if you got it at like a penny or a couple pennies like me, all-time highs would be like a 300x from there, right? So like $1,000 investment into about $300,000. But again, there's definitely risk, but I think, the reward far outweighs the risk at this point. And, I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. This is not financial advice, but I've never been more bullish on the company. I'm probably going to look to add 1 or 2 more times and increase my position size. And like I said, can't wait to interview Hugo next Friday. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know your thoughts and opinions on this report in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there. All right, it's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Once again, happy Friday. Hope you have a great weekend ahead, and we'll see you again on the next video.